personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so we're going to keep it a bit local in this video. In our prospect review video series, we're going to talk about the fighting pride of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You know, Broward County's very own, South Florida's very own. You know, definitely a friend of the channel, definitely someone that I like, and definitely someone that I think does have some upside as a fighter. And he's still very, very early in his career. He's only 21 years old, so he's still a youngin' in the game. He's still a baby in the game. He only has 7 rounds boxed in 4 fights. He's got 4 knockouts in all 4 of his pro fights, but I like him a lot, and I think you guys should know about him. And that's that man right there, that gentleman right there, Devon Tap Williams. Shout out to him. So let's talk about Devon Tap Williams. Now, his last fight, interestingly enough, he actually wound up winning the WBC Youth Intercontinental Super Lightweight title. So it is a belt. He didn't beat no killer for it. Beat a guy that was 1-10, which is kind of weird that a belt was on the line for a guy of such a bad record. But nonetheless, he got the belt. That'll help him with the WBC down the road, and it's good for him to, you know, be winning hardware early on in his career, even if it's like small, frivolous hardware like that, right? But nonetheless, Devon Tap Williams, let's talk about him. So comes from a fighting family. You know, his older brother is a staple here in the South Florida boxing scene, and Antonio Bang Williams. And Bang Williams was a fighter that had a lot of promise some years ago, but I think his career has been marred by lack of discipline. He's missed some weights for fights, and you know, I remember like 5 years ago in 2019, I saw his brother fight. He was real sharp, looked real promising, but just hasn't been able to really get momentum going in his career. So hopefully he can get himself right, because I do like Antonio Bang Williams, but they're brothers. And so, you know, with his brother being a fighter, that, you know, he's going to be someone that he's going to be born and bred to do this, right? He trains at Stacey McKinley's gym under the watchful eye and guidance of Kevin Cunningham, which also means that he trains with Adrien Broner. And when I spoke to Tap in our last interview, he had revealed to me that Adrien Broner is actually mentoring him. Now, let me say this about Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner does get a bad rap, and I used to be an Adrien Broner hater many years ago, because I thought they were overrating him a little bit, and, you know, he got what I still think is a gift decision against my boy Adrian Granados. But, you know, I got a chance to meet Adrien Broner a couple times, especially at the WBA convention, and Adrien Broner is a real down-to-earth person. Adrien Broner is very personable, and Adrien Broner actually really cares about fighters. Like, I've seen Adrien Broner encourage so many fighters that I know, whether it be Isaac Chamberlain, Devon Tap Williams, Lawrence Newman. So I actually don't think that's a bad thing. Adrien Broner has been at a level that Devon Tap Williams is trying to get to. And I'm sure with all the pitfalls he made in his career, with all the successes he had being a 4-division champion, and all the pitfalls he had with not being able to handle that fame after the Maidana fight, there's a lot of wisdom I'm sure Adrien Broner could share with a young fighter like Tap Williams. So, yeah. And as far as his style, it's great that I think Broner's mentoring him, because I think his style reminds me of a young Adrien Broner. Just the way he punches, his stance, the way he works off of his pivots. When he puts his combinations together and he starts working off those pivots, it looks just like, you know, the Adrien Broner that was fighting guys like Gavin Reese and fighters like Vicente Escobedo and those guys. I'm talking about the young AB. I'm talking about HBO AB. I'm talking about, you know, Pops, can you brush my hair AB? That Adrien Broner, not the guy in the more recent times, but the guy that captivated the whole sport. That's who Tap kind of fights like. So there's that. And you know, Tap is a 147 pounder. Or is he 147 or 140? He's actually 140. He's fought at 47 before, but he's actually really he's ranked at 147 on BoxRec, but he's fought at 140. The WBC title that Tap won was a 140 title. So we'll see how it goes. I think he's definitely going to be a 147 pounder at some point, because Devon Tap Williams is huge. I remember back in 2021 when he was, 19 years old, before he even turned pro. I remember I used to see Tap spar Pistol Pete Dobson, the one that's fighting Conor Benn, all the time. And he was bigger than Pete. And Pete's fought at 54. So he's big. He's a big kid. And he's only going to grow more, right? So he's got that going for him. As far as his sparring, he sparred some names that you guys, the boxing fans, would know. A lot of prominent names. I'll run through them real quickly. I mentioned Pete Dobson. He sparred Pete Dobson. He sparred Lazaro Medina, who's one of the young bright stars in South Florida boxing. He's Lorenzo Medina's brother. You guys hear more about him in about a year or so. He sparred with him. He sparred Albert Bell, the top contender at 130. He sparred Luis Chucho Melendez, who we know has fought a lot of prominent names at 130, like Thomas Matisse and what's his name, Andres Cortez. Sparred the tough Nicaraguan Jimmy Brenes, sparred Michel Rivera, sparred the Dominican Frankie Fortunato. So he's very experienced in the gym. He's very experienced in the gym as far as the work he's gotten. He's very experienced as far as the guys he has around him. And he's got Adrien Broner, Lawrence Newton, Eric Shalubin, who he's also sparred as well. He's got top fighters around him. So when I talk about the interesting fighters in the South Florida boxing scene, obviously I talk about the guys like Lorenzo Medina and Lawrence Newton and Daniel Bailey and Eric Lanzis Jr. and even some of the amateurs that haven't even turned pro yet, like Lazaro Medina and Luis Hernandez. But to me, the Tudor brothers, Eric Tudor, Sasha Tudor. But to me, one of the young fighters, I should say, that I think has the most upside, and someone that I think is one of the most interesting fighters is Devon Tap Williams. He's big for that. He's growing still. Got really good hand speed, physically strong, can punch you. He's a mean guy in there, and I just think with time and experience, he's gonna have the chance. Just so long as he stays focused and doesn't get caught up with the trappings of life and the things that boxers normally get distracted by, which is women, fame, popularity, having an ego. As long as the ego and women and money and fame don't get in this kid's way, and he stays focused, I could definitely see him being a factor in boxing, some years down the line. But he's still got a lot of work to do. But he's 4-0. He's done his job so far, 4-0. It's fun to watch. He has fun in there. There was one fight on Pro Box where he had a guy hurt and he started dancing in front of him. So he's cool. I like Tap. I'm a Tap Williams fan. And I want you guys to be on the lookout for him because he is one of South Florida's very own. And listen, if you guys ever want to accuse me of being a bias for anything, I'll be biased for I'm a big fan of my South Florida fighters. And I don't care where they're from. I don't care if they're from Palm Beach County, Boca Raton, Delray Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Dania, Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale, Homestead, Naranja, Gould, Perrine, Liberty City. Anywhere in South Florida that has fighters, I'm going to support them because these fighters, they've walked the same streets I've walked. In some cases, they've gone to the same schools I've gone to. They've taken the same trains I've taken, right? And in a lot of times, there's not really people here who make that concerted effort to cover South Florida boxing. So I've taken that. Yeah, so like I was saying, I've taken that responsibility to cover the South Florida fight game, the South Florida boxing scene head on, and I wear it with so much pride, and I want to help create and foster great boxing culture here in South Florida. So that's one of the things that this channel has been built upon, and it'll continue by covering hardworking, young, talented, bright young stars of tomorrow like Devon Tap Williams. So on that note, you guys let me know what you think. If you guys got any value to add about Devon Tap Williams, feel free to put it in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.